Hey yo, Eat Kings fight news. And Oscar De La Hoya recently stated that he is looking forward to making Canelo Alvarez versus Errol Spence Jr., The Truth, versus the Cinnamon Kid. Eat King fight news, man. More on this. Wow. Oscar De La Hoya getting ambitious and looking for Canelo's next fight. What is this? Is that why he wanted to sign Errol Spence Jr. a few years ago? Or was it last year? Oscar De La Hoya tried to sign Errol Spence Jr. last year, tried to set him up real nice with the Miguel Cotto fight, but Errol Spence turned it down. Do we know why he turned it down? Well, it has something to do with what his plans were for 2018, right? And the plans are very simple. They want him to take over the welterweight division. He's supposed to get the winner of Danny Garcia versus Sean Porter. Not only that, but if Keith Thurman gets a comeback fight, he might be fighting on Errol Spence's undercard. So there's a lot in the works. And let's get right into what Oscar De La Hoya had to say. Shout out to Boxing News 24, man. Great article. Let's get it. Alright, so Oscar De La Hoya wants Canelo versus Spence fight, waiting for Errol to talk to him. That's the headline. August 12, 2018. There he is. The man with the golden utensils. Let's just see what he had to say here. Oscar De La Hoya says he's very interested in a fight between Golden Boy Promotions cash cow, Saul Canelo Alvarez, and IBF champion Errol the True Spence Jr. as soon as possible. De La Hoya says Spence at 28 would need to move up 2 weight classes from welterweight to middleweight for it to take place at 160 pounds. Canelo would be moving down. Wouldn't be moving down, obviously. Okay. So they're not looking at making a catchweight fight at all. They want Errol Spence to go from basically to take the jump that Kell Brook took. That's what Oscar De La Hoya is looking for. They want to bring up Errol Spence Jr. from 147 all the way to 160 and to give out 13 pounds. Basically, the weight advantage he would normally have against other welterweights. So it's very interesting. It's very, very interesting. And I'm not gonna sit here and act like Errol Spence, is some kind of a weight bully, as a lot of guys want to accuse him of. I mean, he rehydrates just like any other fighter. I mean, he happens to be big for the welterweight limit, but he can make the weight, no? As long as he's making the weight, he's a fucking welterweight. That's all I care about, man. Just like Chavez Jr., everybody gave this dude a pass for fucking draining himself down to 160 and then showing up as a cruiserweight. I didn't hear no fucking... I mean, the only people out here that were criticizing Chavez Jr., you already know, man. It's new media out here. So, that's just what it was. That's just what it was. This is what Oscar has to say. Absolutely, Canelo's always willing to fight the best. De La Hoya said to Fight Hub, when asked if he'd be willing to fight Errol Spence Jr., I believe a fighter like Errol Spence can come up a couple of weight divisions. And to challenge a fighter like Canelo, that'll be a super fight. But you have to come and talk to us because we would know how to stage that type of event. So Oscar's also saying, he's the one that wants to stage the fight. Maybe that's a co-promotion. Who knows? I'm not sure if that's in the plans for Errol Spence. I mean, he's got to clean up that welterweight division, and it's up to him if he wants to take on a Canelo. I know a guy like Errol Spence isn't the guy to turn down fights, man. He's the kind of guy to go after that shit because he's been ducked by so many fighters for so long. And for him to get a mega cash cow fight like that, I just think I don't see him being the guy to say no to it. That's something that really will come down to Al Heyman. That seems like an Al Heyman decision, being Errol Spence's manager. And it all depends on what kind of compensation package you would get for a Canelo fight. I mean, that's definitely a fight where you take two of the top stars in boxing and you're matching them up against each other. And obviously it's an epic fight. I mean, I think it would be a much more competitive fight than what we saw with Amir Khan versus Canelo. I mean, Errol Spence, he's got a really strong chin. And the other question is, would Errol Spence want to have a warm-up fight in the middleweight division? Would he want to take on a tune-up at middleweight? Let's say I hate to say Liam Smith, but maybe even a Jaime Munguia would be a really good test for Errol Spence Jr. There's other guys out there, but I think a Jaime Munguia would be a really good test for Errol Spence. I think that would be an excellent fight. I think that would be an excellent fight. That's a great fight. I think on paper, both of those guys really know how to fight on the inside. And I think Errol Spence could probably expose a guy like Jaime Munguia, to be honest. So, I don't think this is a quote. This is just some narrative here from Boxing News 24. If Spence wants a mega fight and a chance to turn himself into a star, then he's going to have to agree to go up and wait and face a heavier Canelo. That's a sacrifice that Spence will need to take for him to get a big payday that he's been craving for all these years. Well, he's going to get a payday versus the winner of Sean Porter versus Danny Garcia. That's going to be a great, great fight once it happens, right? And that's pretty much it, man. Pretty much it. I mean, this is a great fight. On paper, this is one of the biggest fights in boxing, and it would really put a new face to that whole welterweight, middleweight division, especially if Errol Spence is willing to face a Canelo Alvarez. Now, I'm just not too sure how the timelines work out, because Canelo Alvarez, he's got to beat up on Gennady Golovkin. I hope that's not a trilogy. I really hope it's not a trilogy. I hope Canelo Alvarez gets a decisive victory. Or if Gennady Golovkin wins decisively, I'm fine with that as well. Either way, it doesn't really discount a fight between Canelo and Errol Spence. They can still do it. Who knows? They can still do it. I think Gennady Golovkin is a couple fights away from retiring. So I don't really see him lasting very much longer at all. I mean, the guy, he's clearly running out of time as an elite fighter. I've seen him, basically, his performances have not been up to par ever since he fought, really, Kell Brook. I mean, Kell Brook was his last best knockout, and I'm not even counting Vanez. That was a bum fight. Let's be honest, Vanez Mitrosian got up off his couch to face fucking Gennady Golovkin. So, that's not even being considered. E-King Fight News, let me know what you guys think, man. Smash the like button. Subscribe to the channel if you haven't already, man. This is a great fight. I definitely want to hear more news, more build-up. I mean, we all know Mikey Garcia, the other guy that Oscar De La Hoya seems to be looking out for. He might take on Errol Spence. And that might be in 2018. So we really never know. That's going to be an awesome fight. I mean, the hype surrounding that, I think it could be really epic. It could be the first pay-per-view of Errol Spence Jr. And I think the promotion needs to be on point. We need to have, Mikey Garcia, what he did against Robert Easter was a brilliant performance. And Errol Spence needs another one of those. I don't know if he's going to have a tune-up fight or if he's going to go straight into a Mikey Garcia clash. But we just have to wait and see, man. We just have to wait and see what's next for both of these guys and how it all plays out. E-King Fight News, smash the like button. Subscribe to the channel. What do you think about Errol Spence Jr. versus Canelo Alvarez? Is that not a great fight? Is that a fight you want to see? Do you think it's too big of a jump for Errol Spence? And when do you see that fight going down? Eat King Fight News, man. We're out.